Talking about all these different issues, I'm going to head to another issue which I find particularly interesting. You're widely considered Champagne Socialists of the 12 Isles. And I saw that you were traveling here on first class when you came to the UK. Me personally, I never went on first class. I hope you had a comfortable travel. I still think it's an issue worth pointing out. Because when it comes to especially the consumption of luxury goods, sports cars, million-dollar property, which you've been known to engage in, how can you justify yourself as a moral character on the left when you are benefiting more than many capitalists are from what you're doing as being a Twitch streamer, exploiting other streamers through your reaction content, which you are, which is a widely established fact. They're socially necessary every time, considering what you earn, you put in that much effort as the other streamers that you're engaged, reacting to. And furthermore, when it comes to...
Can we keep it brief if we can?
When it comes to the consumption of luxury goods, what do you think Marx, Lenin, Rosa Luxemburg, Liebknecht, what do you think they would say about this kind of new brand of socialism that you represent? Which is, by any measure of it...
I think we're answering the same question.
I think that you are...
We're on for a very short for time, please.
To real societal revolutionary change, because you are no more than a packeteer.
Okay. Thank you for the question. I don't know how familiar you are with Karl Marx, but his bestie literally had a factory, so I don't think that he had that much issue with people that came from means. But having said that, however, I do think that it's a good point. What you rise is the point that you brought up, that socialism is about being in a poverty cult or living an ascetic lifestyle is, I think, pure reactionary garbage. The entire purpose of socialist movements is to allow people to have their own individual freedoms, to have autonomy in their lives, to be able to have some semblance of workplace democracy so they can experience these freedoms and feel like a fucking human being. And that is what I practice, and that is what I preach as well. I have a cooperative in the way that I have my own podcast is Equal Say, Equal Pay. My producer, March, is sitting right there. Makes a lot more money than the average Twitch streamer does, as a matter of fact, for that reason. And I'm a truly fortunate person. I'm truly fortunate for being able to find such success in this field. As far as the accusations of exploitation outside of participating in capitalism, which is impossible to avoid unless you go and, I guess, live in the woods and make your own axe and cut the trees down and build a home for yourself that way, it's impossible to avoid capitalism. That's why most socialists will say that there's no ethical consumption. As far as like my glamorous lifestyle goes, these are voluntary subscriptions that people choose to sign on for. I've told people time and time again that they do not have to subscribe to me, but if they want to, they can. Back in the day, it was to avoid the top of the hour ad break. I don't even serve ads anymore. I do a decent amount of fundraising on top of that, even though I don't think that philanthropy is socialism. I don't think that it works that way. And I work with labor movements in general. I'd say that someone of my level of wealth or my level of means is perfectly valid and perfectly appropriate. You might consider that to be self-serving, but I don't. And it's never been something that is inconsistent. When I was broke, I advocated for the same exact things that I advocate for now, and people would say, you're just jealous of the wealthy. Now that I do have money, people say you're a hypocrite. And I don't know what the expectation is from for someone like myself to just like cast aside. Once I got a little bit of money, this socialism shit is over. You want me to become like a right-wing Ben Shapiro type of person? Like, you want me to cast aside my values and my principles? No, I'm not going to do that. So I'm very fortunate, and I try to use all of that fortune for good and to continue uplifting voices that are unheard and to continue to advocate for people to get that same level of emancipation and autonomy in their workplaces and across the board. It's no different than my advocacy for against police brutality. I'm not black, but I speak on black issues. I'm not trans, but I speak against transphobia. I am not any longer broke, but it doesn't change that dynamic for me even a little bit. I think that I'm still going to continue doing that, regardless of the home that I purchased for myself. It's not my fault that the California housing market is dog shit. I purchased a house for myself that my family can live in. That's a pretty valid thing. That's a pretty normal thing. I think that's something that everyone should be able to do, should be able to get. Now, if I were to say, well, I own a home now, so I think the housing market is good, we shouldn't do any public housing, we shouldn't claw back housing prices, then yeah, that would be inconsistent. That would be hypocritical. I guess it would be more consistent in the way that you interpret who I am and what I should be, what values I should be presenting. But I think that would be true hypocrisy. And as far as the luxury car goes, I leased a dentist car, an EV, just so everybody knows. It's, I'm going back to a Toyota, don't worry. So I can get my socialist bona fides.
Okay.
But yeah.